What do we have to be thankful for? I mean, we're in the middle of a health epidemic. And during the last 8, nearly 9 months, we've been through much. Let's face it, not much of it has been good or fun. I mean, we've gone from masks and restaurants and schools and businesses being closed and canceled. Then they're reopened with restrictions. They tell us that we're required to wear masks in public. We're to socially distance ourselves from each other. We're supposed to follow special rules for cleaning and to do many things to avoid the transfer of this disease. Within the last week, we're now under a curfew. And it's also been advised that we not gather in large groups today. And many families have made the difficult decision of not to gather today. And the list of restrictions and guidelines go on. And as the list goes, today may seem like a day not to be thankful, but perhaps more likely to complain and lament. Nothing this year seems to be the way it's supposed to be. But I think we're still called to be thankful. We all have reasons to be thankful. On Monday, I got an email from my uncle informing us that our family gathering to celebrate Thanksgiving was canceled. It was probably not a bad idea if everybody in the family would show. It'd be about 100 people. Probably was not the best to gather in that situation. But also in the email, he pointed out we still have reasons to be thankful this year. He pointed out that during this time of COVID and rearranging of schedules, we had the time to spend with Grandma before she died. We're thankful for the great life she lived and the legacy she leaves to our family. We had family gatherings that took place. The birth of 6 babies into the family. We had a family wedding. And the fact that each one of us had a birthday at some point in the year was all reasons to be thankful. What is it that you are thankful for? In our scriptures today, I think Mary gives us an example on how to be thankful in a time that is less than ideal. In our scriptures today, we hear the beautiful story of the visitation of Mary visiting Elizabeth and John the Baptist leaping in the womb with great joy. And we also get this wonderful prayer of praise from Mary. This prayer of praise that is also known as the Magnificat. But you know, a detail that we can so easily forget about this story is the things at this time were not the way they were supposed to be for Mary. She was single and with child. Her life was at risk on account of the local culture. Yet it was still in this time of less than ideal. This time for her where things were not the way they were supposed to. She has this beautiful prayer of praise and thanks to God. I think we're called to do likewise. If we look at our year, we look even with the pandemic in our lives, we probably still can find reasons to be thankful. How in this time of less than ideal are you called to give praise to God? Perhaps I'd like to share this prayer for those who have too much. And perhaps this prayer might put into perspective all the great things that we're blessed with. But not also be aware of the things that we're blessed with, but also help us be aware with the surplus that we have, how we might help one another. To my brothers and sisters in developing countries and people of need, while I was deciding on which oat brand of cereal to eat this morning, you were searching the ground for leftover grains from the passing wheat truck. While I was jogging at the health center, you were working the wealthy landowner's field under a scorching sun. While I was choosing between diet or regular soda, your parched lips were yearning for the touch of water. While I complained about the poor service in the gourmet restaurant, you were gratefully receiving a bowl of rice. While I poured my fresh and better detergent into the washing machine, you stood in the river with your bundle of clothes. While I watched the evening news on my widescreen television set, you were being terrorized and taunted by a dictatorship government. While I read the newspaper and drank my cup of coffee, you walked the dusty, hot miles to the tiny, crowded schoolroom to try to learn how to read. While I scanned the ads for a bargain on an extra piece of clothing, you woke up and put on the same shirt and pants that you have worn for many months. While I built my 4-bedroom house for the 3 of us, your family of 10 found shelter in a 1-room hut. While I went to church last Sunday and felt more than slightly bored, you looked out upon the earth and those around you and felt gratitude to God for being alive for one more day. My brothers and sisters, forgive me for my arrogance and my indifference. Forgive me for my greed of always wanting new, bigger, and better things. Forgive me for not doing my part to change the unjust systems that keep you suffering and impoverished. I offer you my promise to become more aware of your situation, to change my lifestyle as I work for the transformation of our world.